Folks, I'm live again, and the first guy popping up before I even got on here is Connor, 2003 C-Pain. What do you say there, pal? I see you're here again, and I'm glad to see you, and I'm looking forward to talking with some other people. So I'm kind of a minute early here. I'm kind of an early bird, so I'll wait for everybody to join in here, catch up. Catch up with me as I invite you to catch up with Mayo, okay? How have I been doing? So. I'd say pretty good lately. So, that's a good thing. Last time this person wanted a shout out too. Hi, Janet. Hi, Rossi. Hello, can't read that. Lucky. Uh, Elvin. Sorry if I'm not going to be able to get everybody. The first question Harrison Bonds wants to know is a good one. Wants to know if I'm going to buy any of the McCartney red vinyl albums. I had forgotten that they came out, and I've been hearing that it's impossible to get them. My record store didn't get them, and apparently they're very, very hard to get. They're very a short supply of them, and even my record store couldn't get them. They wouldn't give him any, supposedly. I don't know why that is, but he said that, and so be it. You know what I mean? I'm not really thrilled. I've heard they go around $30 a piece, and there's several of these. I really don't have that much of an interest. If they were $20, maybe I'd think about it. But I'm just not interested. I don't have to have every single thing. And these particular releases don't really necessarily thrill me. You know what I mean? If I find them cheap enough somewhere, fine. But it looks to me like these colored vinyl discs from McCartney are going to be discs that are probably going to be inflated in price, probably going to be going around on eBay and stuff like that. People are going to buy them up and oversell them. I have a real strong fear that's going to be the situation with that. So I don't really care that much, to be honest with you, But, I would have liked to get a couple if they were cheap enough and easy to find, but I'm not going to go crazy. So a lot of people are checking in here. How you doing? I can't say hi to everybody individually. Sorry about that. There's a lot of people here. And this is basically, again, this is a Q&A more or less. And so, it's not just one of those knock-around sessions where we're just kind of goofing off and just making a lot of funny remarks and whatever. We do those too. So Mel Tillis, did Mel Tillis die? I didn't know about that. Some people are mentioning David Cassidy, who's now in very bad shape. Looks like it's only a matter of time. So I'm kind of upset about that, but it's not really surprising, I have to say. Hi Rob, hi Mark P. Yes, I heard about Malcolm Young. I got to be honest with you. Hi Gold Rag, by the way. At first I didn't know who he was. Then people told me who he was. Another member of AC/DC who's now passed on. So, they're all happening. The deaths, Hudson wants to know how you doing, by the way, Hudson. Do I have the White Album in shrink? I do have a copy of it in shrink, but I'm starting to wonder some of these. I try to get them where they look like they're the original shrink wrap, but they have the breathing holes in there and they look real and everything, but you never know 100%. But I do have one in shrink. I heard David Cassidy's cover version, Enrico, of "Please Please Me." I think it's pretty decent. I think David Cassidy. I hate to say that. I was gonna say David Cassidy had a good voice, past tense, as if he's not with us yet. But David Cassidy was a heavy drinker. He made a lot of his own problems, if not all his own problems. I don't know the man. His situation personally. But, this is what's going to happen. Impossibly going to happen if you don't watch it. I have nothing but respect for anybody who gets help or can get out of these things before it's too late, Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see now. So, And I heard about Mel Tillis, as I say. My favorite Wings song is impossible to say, on short notice. I have a lot of them. No, I do not have a haircut. I think this is just a bad hair day, I think. It's a bitch having hair, folks. Let me tell you, you guys out there, it's a bitch having hair. uh, favorite Wings song? I mean, that's impossible, really. Really. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, avoid the question, but I could name 100 of them, and I can't really pick just one yet. Uh, so, yeah. Did John and Yoko do Frank Zappa wrong? Just to show you that I can be critical of people that I like. Yes, I think John and Yoko did do Frank Zappa wrong by, you know, reworking his song or whatever, not giving him the credit, changing the title, whatever, all the stuff they did, whatever it was. I know. So I think that was wrong. You know, I look clean shaven. I am, but there's been plenty of times where I've been clean shaven, carnivorous lunar activity. So I'm not sure I get why you're mentioning it this time. The song, what's my opinion on the song Hi Hi Hi? Hudson wants to know. I love that song. I think it's a really great rocker from Paul, and that's among my favorite Wings songs. So when you ask me, which one's my favorite, that's up there. So that was good of you to bring that up. You know, Johnny Stock says he watched a 1998 interview with Ringo, and Ringo said he preferred the White Album over Sgt. Pepper. Said the White Album was more a real band effort. That's funny because it's not more of a band effort. I don't think it's the least band effort of all the albums, the White Album. But I like it better than Pepper overall. Did Don come back to the record store? Yeah, he's been at the record store afterwards. He came back to the record store. Does Paul sing Helter Skelter on the anthology version, or is it John? No, it's Paul. Is Ringo's Lennon Fanatic? Hi, Lennon Fanatic. Thanks for showing up here. I haven't seen you here before. I like to see some new videos of yours when you get some new Beatles records and stuff. You just bought I Want to Be Santa Claus by Ringo. You want to know if it's on colored vinyl. No, it's not. Hey, look, I'm happy just to have it on vinyl. I'm sure you agree, because it's been, it never was on vinyl. I'm glad just to have it on standard black vinyl, but I would have liked it to be on Christmas colored vinyl if I had a choice. So that's how I feel about that. What's on the menu for Thanksgiving? Hello, Matthew Smith, and I'll say here, if I don't get a chance to say it, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there this upcoming Thursday, people who celebrate it. Turns out we're going to go, my girlfriend and I are going to go to our friend's couple's house. They're going to have a bash over there. We're going to go over there for Thanksgiving. What's on the menu? It's the one time a year where I eat turkey. I'm not a big turkey guy, but whatever they got, we're eating. So that's what it comes down to. Have I seen the Rockestra TV special? Yes, I've seen it and I own it. And it's really a very, very interesting piece of film. The Rockestra, Paul McCartney, Back to the Eggs era film. I hope they include that one day if he ever gets around to putting it on his archives set. Why does Ringo preach peace and love but is really snobby in person, like he avoids fan interaction? Yeah, Ringo can come across as grumpy and snobby in person, and it's a shame with all the peace and love things. I guess it depends on his mood, but he is very, very untrusting. And I really think what happened to John really affected him. In fact, there's an interview once where when Ringo talks about John Lennon getting killed and how it happened, Ringo incorrectly says he went to give an autograph and the bugger shot him. That's not what happened. So I could understand why Ringo feels that way, but quite frankly, it's been said even by Paul himself that even in the Beatles, Ringo was always a little like that. He was the one out of all of them that was kind of like a lot of times. It's a shame because Ringo's a lot of fun, but folks, I'm getting a lot of questions, and I love that. So if I miss some of your questions, either I've deliberately ignored it, or more likely I might have missed it. There's so many here. So I don't answer everything. And sometimes I don't see a lot of them. So you just so you know, you could repeat a question if I didn't see it the first time. If you repeat it 3, 4 times and I don't answer it, figure it out. You know. Let's see, what do we got here? When did Ringo stop signing autographs? You don't know that? Woodland Goblin in 2008. It's a famous video on YouTube where he said he won't be signing autographs anymore. 2003, See Pain. I didn't know there was an Elvis Presley Kissin' Cousins FTD release coming up. I didn't know that. I don't think I knew that anyway. What is the box behind me with Elvis on it? You might be referring, the one on the shelf, you might be referring to original bubblegum cards. They're the Elvis bubblegum cards from 1977, I think, and all the packs and bubblegum and cards in there. You know, unused. So, okay. Have I seen the video where Paul McCartney confronts the paparazzi? Yeah, I've seen that. There's a few videos like that, and one of them where he calls a girl fatso, and he calls a guy a rat, and everything. I don't know if they're all paparazzi or they're just overzealous people follow. You know, is that the right word I'm looking for? I'm sorry if it's not the right word. Over crazy fans bothering him, whatever it is. I've seen that, and I've seen one in France where he's like, you know, okay, will you please go away, you know, all this stuff. But Paul could be kind of funny too. I say funny, strange funny, you know. It's like, can you go away, guys? And the first one, can you go away? I mean, can you go away? No? He goes, you know, making fun of the guy, you know. So, let's see what else we got here. I don't like a lot of dead space. Sorry about that. But, you know, people are watching this back. Sorry for the delays that you have to endure in between. You loved my Beatles channel rant. Thank you. I know rants aren't for everybody. Oh, what's this guy complaining about? I'm still thinking about doing a rant channel where all the videos of me bitching and moaning about this and that and screaming and yelling. I don't know about that, though. I still haven't decided. So, oh, there's Kiss Fan Max 2009. We were talking in a comment section somewhere. How did I feel when Kiss took off the makeup on MTV? Were you finally like, hey, Kiss took the makeup off. Please don't put it back on. P.S. He says, I like Kiss, and please don't say anything mean. Well, I can say that I thought when they first took the makeup off, I thought it was about time. Let's take the stupid makeup off. I don't mean that to be too mean, but it was a gimmick. I know you don't agree with that, but it was a gimmick. Kiss was very big when I was in high school. I was 14 years old and 15 when they were really big. A perfect age for it. I was listening to the Beatles even then. People told me to get into Kiss, but anyway, when they took it off, I thought it was about time. And then I was glad they put it back on because I thought it was cool again. So I was happy when they took it off, and I was happy when they put it back on. I thought they needed it again. So I'm cool. I'm all right with it. Ringo was a better. Okay, I'm just reading. We'll carpool to the mean Mr. Mayo household for Thanksgiving. No, you just won't. But that's a nice. What's my favorite Paul is Dead clue? Never given that one much thought. If I come up with one, I would just like. I don't know. I guess playing Revolution 9 backwards and it says "Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man." Even though I think it's a lot of baloney, this whole Paul is dead stuff, and even the clues I think are a lot of baloney. That one's hardest to explain to me. Okay. I I see Matthew Smith has the guy, I forget what his name is again, Blind Jelly or something. I want my daddy's records. The guy from Sanford and Son. Okay, have I seen Ringo Starr in concert? Yeah, 7 or 8 times I've seen him. Always like to see him, but this particular time, things didn't work out financially, really. So, do I predict any upcoming solo Beatles releases coming up anytime soon? Beatles releases or re-releases? I don't know. I really don't. I haven't heard anything lately. Okay. No, have I ever listened to an entire album backwards? No, I have not. Yeah. Okay, I'm reading some comments. Believe me, even if I don't react to all the comments, I'm trying to read all the comments that are not questions. Yeah. How much do I think my collection is worth? Not much, so nobody wants to come in here and steal it. No, really, it's not, you know, I don't think it's that much. Any snow yet? I'm happy to say no, and I hope I can tell you that in January and February, too. I don't want to see one flake of snow. I despise snow. Do I like any rap song? Well, there's a couple I like. I mean, I like Rapper's Delight, which a lot of people say is the first rap song, and if it is, I liked it because I thought it was fun. I thought it was a novelty. It was different, you know. I don't know if you call Blondie's Rapture a rap song in the middle part when she raps. I like that, and I also like a song which is not. I don't know if it's rap or not. You tell me. I bought the single for from the Beastie Boys, "Fight for Your Right to Party," which I think is a really good song. But I consider that more of a rock song than a rap song. But still. Did I ever see George in concert, George Harrison? No, I never did. Never really had the opportunity when I was a big fan. The only time was in 1992 when he was in town for the Bob Dylan tribute concert at Madison Square Garden, and I didn't go to that. So... Let's see. What happens to my collection once I pass away? Jason wants to know. I really don't know, and I really don't care. You know, I'm one of those people, like, you know, I don't fret about that. I just hope that it doesn't get junked. I just hope that it gets in the hands of people that really would appreciate it. That can be passed on to fans. But I don't really go crazy. I used to think my nephew, if you're listening out there, Alex, I used to think my nephew maybe could have it, but he's not really a Beatles fanatic anymore. I don't think he ever was, but he likes them, but he's not a fanatic. So I really don't know. But I don't worry about what happens. Just as long as, you know, if my girlfriend is still here, hopefully she gets money for it, for the stuff, and some fans get to enjoy it. Yeah, the bread and milk. Henry the horse says, "Gotta get the bread and milk. Gotta get the bread and milk. They said snow. They said snow. Gotta get the bread and milk." He's doing Vic DiBattista that I like a lot, you know. And, you know, I'm definitely not a winter person. Nope. I'm a summer person all the way. And, you know. Somebody knocking? Dude, I heard a knock. Well, I wouldn't say I enjoy rap, but those couple of songs I liked. Before it got to be the same song over and over again, you know, for like 40 years or whatever it is. Am I the world's biggest Beatles fan? Probably not. How about on Sgt. Pepper, the beginning of With a Little Help from My Friends? Billy Shears has introduced William Campbell as Billy's here. I don't really know what you mean by that. Hello, Brad Tech Webcast is here from Australia. Let's see. Least favorite song or Beatles song? So Jason, let me know if you want to know, because if it's least favorite song of all time, I can't tell you that. I'm starting to get allergy stuffy nose. This happens when you're alive sometimes. What's my favorite food? Any kind of pasta. I like pasta. What can I tell you? The questions are bouncing. I hate when they bounce and they all go up in one shot, you know? That's what I hate. Let's see. I should do a Q&A with other people. Well, right now I have enough trouble with just doing it myself, but I do want to have my friend Anthony here one day to do it. You know. Do I like Black Sabbath? I don't dislike Black Sabbath. Don't really know much by Black Sabbath. I know I like Iron Man very much. I know I like the song Paranoid very much. And there you go. Have I ever been to Vermont? No. I haven't traveled much at all, really. But I can tell you I've never been to Vermont. Somebody here wants me to do Archie Bunker impression. Oh, jeez, dear meathead. Jeez, I tell you, Edith, I'm not good at wakes there. I ain't never delivered no urology. My least favorite rap song, I don't have, if that's what you meant, Jason, I don't have all of them. I mean, I really, well, you know, just about all of them. I don't have one least favorite one. Yeah, about Skyping. Yeah, there's a thing about Skype. I gotta learn all about that stuff. I see things where people have different people from different locations at once. Is that what Skyping is? You know? Yeah. Yeah, I know William Campbell, yep. William Campbell, supposedly the guy who won the Paul McCartney lookalike contest or something. Mr. Colton Presley, yes, I got your private message the other day from the last chat, and I responded to it. I don't know, you didn't respond to my response. But if it's what I think it is, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Let's see. A Google Hangout. Well, I'm not sure what that is right now. What's my opinion on Eric Clapton? I like Eric Clapton. I think he's a fantastic guitar player, and I like a lot of his solo career songs. And I almost bought like the Crossroads set the other day, but I didn't. But a lot of people don't seem to like Eric Clapton. I don't know, the people I talk to or some of them, but I like him, so I don't really get that. Do I have anything by Cream? I don't think I do, although, you know, I like the songs you'd expect that I would like, you know, White Room, Sunshine of Your Love, things like that. Alright, you get me a beer, huh? Alright, Edith, leave it there. Let's see. Grant Smith asked the inevitable question, are we going to get a White Album Deluxe 50th edition next year? I don't know, Grant. Neither do you. Neither does anybody. Because, you know, people think that Giles Martin kind of leaked it and let the cat out of the bag a little bit last year, saying the White Album will be the next one or something like that. But there's no definite plans. It's nothing. Nothing has been set in stone for that. A lot of people talking about Anthony. Yeah, my friend Anthony. Did Elvis's grandson make a record yet? I didn't even. If I had to pick, would I rather have only 8 toes or 8 fingers? I think if anybody had to pick, they'd rather pick having only 8 toes. They'd rather have all their fingers. No, as long as I could walk pretty well, you know, it's more important to be able to, you know, grab your cup, drinking cup. Do I like Van Halen? Some songs, but I'm not a Van Halen fan. My favorite Van Halen song of the few that I know, I'll Wait. Uh, so they introduced, what are they saying? Billy's here. No, well, I don't agree with that, Woodland Goblin. I don't subscribe to that stuff. It's Billy Shears, not Willie. Billy's here. William Campbell, no. Don't agree. Hi, Marv. I see Beatle Vinyl 85 is here. Too many Saw movies, the horror thing. I liked Saw 1 to 6. 7 I didn't care for. Don't ask me why, but who do I think is better, Beach Boys or AC/DC? Beach Boys by about a gazillion miles. I mean, I don't pretend to have heard all AC/DC, just as I haven't heard all Beach Boys, but from what I heard, I like the Beach Boys a lot better. Woodland Goblin, are you one of those people, Woodland Goblin, I guess, who doesn't believe that Paul McCartney's alive? You think he's dead because you keep calling him Fall, Faul, fake Paul. And I was wondering, do I like any AC/DC? Marv wants to know. What you'd expect. Hell's Bells. Hell's Bells ain't even really great. I'm not a big AC/DC fan. And of course, Dirty Deeds. I like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts version of Dirty Deeds done dirt cheap better. So there you go. Have I watched Howard Stern interviews with any of the Beatles figures, and what do I think of his interviewing style? Good question. I've seen everything pretty much that Howard did with a Beatle, Ringo and Paul, really. And I always say, wouldn't it have been amazing if John Lennon was on the Howard Stern show? Could you imagine if John was alive and he was there sitting in the studio with the headphones with Howard? That would be pure entertainment. But anyway, what do I think of Paul's Howard's interviewing style? I like that Howard goes for the deeper questions. I like that he probes deeper, asks them things that they wouldn't be asked ordinarily. I like that. But Howard Stern also sticks too much with the Beatles, and I don't know. Some of the questions are stupid. But overall, I like that he asks them things, like how many women has Ringo slept with at one time, and stuff like that. Yeah. My friend Anthony is very laid back. This is true. What's my favorite cover of a Bob Dylan song? Oh, it's hard to say. I don't know. I like the Byrds when they do Bob Dylan songs. There's so many people who have done Bob Dylan songs that, I really wish I could just really have a whole list here of like 193 and pick one. But I don't, the Byrds come into my mind first. But, Edie Brickell, I think it was, did a good version of, oh boy, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. There's a lot of great versions out there, Oh boy. I see a lot of old questions in the back. Oops. Now, as we're doing this at 8:27 p.m., ZJ tells me that David Cassidy did officially pass. This is news here breaking during this live chat, if I understand right. Woodland Goblin said it too. He thinks he's the first. David Cassidy's dead. Wow. A little piece of my childhood just went along with that, David Cassidy, I grew up with him on the Partridge Family, and he's pretty funny on the Partridge Family with Danny Bonaducci. They bounced off each other well, and I always thought he had a good voice. What a shame, that he let himself drink like that. But Somebody now is saying he's still in hospital, so here we go. This could happen again. Here we go. The same thing with Tom Petty, right? Tom Petty's dead. No, he's on life support. He's not dead yet. He's dying, but he's not dead. So I don't know. I'm not going to get into this right now. I apologize if whoever said this was mistaken. I just went with what it said. So we'll wait and see. The chat's only got another half an hour or 40 to 45 minutes at most. Do I like Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green? Well, you know, I heard a few Peter Green songs, and I liked some of what I heard. But I think I definitely prefer them with Buckingham and Nicks. So, yeah, I can't wait till Charles Manson dies. I got a really nice rest in peace video for him in my mind. Let's see. Okay, Beatle Vinyl 85 says he just searched about David Cassidy and his death is not confirmed yet. So I'm going to say I don't know right now. Sorry. Didn't want to get caught up in that. That's very interesting. Beatle Vinyl 85 says rest in piss. P-I-S-S, Charles Manson. I didn't mean David Cassidy. Rest in piss, Charles Manson. Wow. So anyway... So we got a lot of comments here going by about Charles Manson and David Cassidy. Imagine being mentioned in the same breath with Charles Manson, you know. And we have to stick with questions, folks. And I tell you, I appreciate there were some people here asking questions who don't usually ask questions. When I do these, what I call Catchup with Mayo, it's nice to be able to have different people asking questions once in a while. So if you're out there watching this, you've never asked questions, come on. Ask a question. Have I ever heard about the Beatles' faces being in the photo of the album John Wesley Harding by Bob Dylan? I always hear about it, but I can never find them. So I never really looked hard enough, I guess. Well, hey, Peter's here. Will Apple ever officially release the Beatles live at Chase Stadium? I think they will at some point. I do, but there's nothing announced or anything yet. No, I wouldn't listen to a Charles Manson music recording. No. I got to tell you, folks, I really don't mind when people have a discussion back and forth, but when people are discussing things, it really clutters up the feed, you know. Sometimes carnivorous, yes. You know, to be honest with you. No, I did not make it to the flea market over the weekend, no. So... Are there any Dirty Mac bootlegs out there? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there were dirty... You're talking about the Rock and Roll Circus kind of thing? Is that what you mean? Only that stuff from the Rock and Roll Circus. There was a lot of that before it came out legitimately. So, what is my biggest surprise that I found at an estate sale? Probably one time when I went with the store owner, Getty Joe, and we went to a British woman's house. She was in her 60s, and that's where I found the original 1969 British box set of Let It Be. Well, I had to buy it off Joe because it was his gig. And then I went and sold it later when I needed some money real quick. So, but anyway, that's probably the best thing I found at one of those sales. Do I like pumpkin spice flavored everything? That's Vic D. Dick. Sorry, Vic. Vic D. Botetto. Will I eventually buy the Flowers in the Dirt box set? I'm sure I eventually will, but it has to come down in price a little bit. You know. Other than a butcher cover, what is something Beatles related that I want? I want the, as I always say when this question is asked, uh, Beatles and Frank Ifield that Marv has an original of. He has one. The original version. The original cover, the portrait cover, as they call. My record store didn't get any Beatles records in shrink lately, but I saw some shrink record Beatle records in a different store. Was that when? No, that was not the same day that Getty Joe got the head of Wagner. Yeah, Don at the record store pretty much only looks at record covers with hot women on them. However, it's funny because just today when I was there, I found a Don Adams album where Don Adams sings, or I don't know if it was a comedy album or not, from Get Smart, and Don really liked that and put it on hold. So he likes other things too, but. Do I like Judge Judy? Nah, I don't dislike her, but I don't care one way or another. I like Judge Janine, but I don't like Judge Judy. And I don't care about Judge Judy. That's more appropriate, right? There's a clip out there of Bob Hope and Raquel Welch singing Rocky Raccoon. I gotta see that, boy. That's hysterical sounding. I'd watch anything with Raquel Welch in it. Nope, I'm not going to pull the Paul doll out. This is a serious Q&A, Janet. This is not one of those free-for-all Mayo's Madhouse kind of things. Are the Beatles still relevant? Well, of course they're relevant. They'll always be relevant. You said Goldrag says he came across a sad article a few years ago talking about the decline in searches of the Beatles on the internet. Yeah, I think they'll always be relevant. They'll go down a little bit as time goes on, but I don't think anybody in the year 1964 thought we'd be talking about them when it's almost going to be 2018. That sounds like Space Odyssey stuff. Okay. Do I like, what was that? Oh, do I like Gordon Ramsay? That's the guy that the chef. He's the chef, right? I love that guy. I think he's hysterical. And my girlfriend, I love to watch Hell's Kitchen for a while. We got into that for a while. If that's the guy I'm thinking of. What's not the guy? Hello to Nowhere Man 211. I don't think I do that good of a Joe Pesci impression, you know. That's right. What? Do I amuse you? I don't think I'm really that good at him. Hey, look, Judge. Okay, I bought a suit. You seen it? Now it's covered in mud. This town ain't got 24-hour dry cleaners, so it was either wear the leather jacket, which I know you hate, or this. So I wore this ridiculous thing for you. I have Buddy Holly's The Chirping Crickets. I like that, I think. Better than the self-titled album, but they're both good, from what I remember. The stack of records on the floor. No, some of them are new purchases, some of them are old purchases. There's going to be a day where I devote time, folks, to get this place organized. Yeah, eventually. My cousin Vinny. Yep, that's what I was doing. Yeah, that's right. Gordon Ramsay. It's raw. It's raw. It's fucking raw. Okay. Some of these I can't answer. I don't know about Helping Rubber Soul. Why do I think they were both in mono and stereo in the mono box? Some of the questions. People are trying hard to come up with the questions. Hullabaloo or Shindig, you know? It depends who's on it, I guess. I want to say Shindig. Favorite Ringo album, the self-titled Ringo from 1973. Not a very original answer, of course. I realize that. Least favorite song off the Cloud 9 album. Well, I have to think of all the songs. Probably Wreck of the Hesperus. I still like it okay. It's either that or Just for Today. It might be Just for Today. I'll show you some new records and items I've bought, but not for a while because I haven't bought many. I have a few in the back hanging out, but I got to build them up. Got to get enough to make it worthwhile. I haven't had much money lately, you know, so. Where do I buy shelves from my records? Over there, the only ones I bought, the Calyx shelves from IKEA. You're not serious, Mark P, are you? You're not. Come on. Mark P's a great guy. I'm sorry, Mark. But he asked me, what do I think? Somebody inevitably asked, what do we think? What do I think? What do we think John Lennon would have been up to if he was alive today? It's impossible to say that, you know? I really wish I could give you an answer. Do I like Elton John? Yeah, I love Elton John. I love Elton John from 1970 to 1986, maybe. You know, I don't know, something like that. Would I count All Things Must Pass as George Harrison's debut, or would I count the experimental albums as Ringo's debut, or would you consider Sentimental? I consider Sentimental Journey Ringo's debut album. And I consider All Things Must Pass really George's debut, because they're proper singing albums, you know. I don't really count the experimental ones. Same with John Lennon. I don't consider his albums like, you know, Two Virgins and Life with the Lions as being official albums, really. How often do I find pictures in the White Album? If I see, a lot of times when my store gets White Albums and they have the pictures in there, and even if they don't, he Frankensteins them together. He's got a whole bunch of White Album pictures, I think, to piece them together. I don't think I'm gonna get Elton John's new Diamonds box set, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, Beetle Vinyl 85 says John would have done a billion things if he were alive. And, you know, like I said, I can't even imagine, you know. Imagine. You know, but there's just so many different things the last 37 years. Is there anything I want, a car, a trip, etc., that I would trade my collection for? If I was in bad health someday, God forbid, I would trade my collection for that, for good health. Health is everything. a lot of people don't know because they take it for granted. Let's see. I might trade my collection for like a, $20 million and I'd buy it over again. Let's see. Am I still leaning towards CDs? I tell you, I'll get good question because talking about John Lennon, he has a song with Yoko called "Do the Oz." I don't know if a lot of people won't know it. It's a goofy song. It's called "Do the Oz," OZ, for Oz Magazine. And the other day I was playing the 45, and it sounded so distorted. Really, I played the bonus track of "Do the Oz" from the Plastic Ono Band, John Lennon Plastic Ono Band CD. I heard instruments clarified in there, absolutely clear as a bell. Things I'd never heard on the 45 before. Folks, I tell you, I really am liking CDs again. What I like about vinyl is the physicality of it, the packaging of it, the records themselves, the look of them, and I like putting a needle on a record, interacting and watching it spin. So I love records, but man, CDs, I like them too. As a big John Lennon fan, did the Two Virgins album covers make me feel uncomfortable? No, I don't look at it every day, but I think it's cool. I think it's really groundbreaking and avant-garde and crazy and weird and delightfully controversial for its time. And I like that it exists. I'd rather have it than not. Joe, what's your favorite song on the All Things Must Pass Apple Jam record? I still have never heard the Apple Jam record. That's why I haven't done an All Things Must Pass review yet. I've had no interest in it. I don't like jams to begin with. But one day, hopefully, I'll let you know when I make it a goal to get it on. I still have the desire. I keep saying I'm going to listen to all the experimental albums. Listen to all those experimental albums, Electronic Sound, Two Virgins, Life with the Lions, a wedding album. I'm going to play all of these things. Probably get around to the Apple Jam as well. So, would you have given into Lana on Three's Company if you were in Jack's shoes? Absolutely. That Lana is really sexy on that Three's Company, and I'll tell you, the way I feel right now, I'd go for that granny or milf over. Well, I don't know if I'd say over both girls, younger girls, but no, seriously, all kidding aside, folks, I got to remember, I'm saving these videos. These videos are going to be saved with this one. No, seriously, I don't know why he didn't go for it. I really don't get it. Do I think Paul will ever call it a day? No, I don't think so. I think my girlfriend thinks he's going to die on stage. I hope not. But I think I don't know. I never got to see John Lennon or George Harrison in concert, unfortunately. Nope. Does Don like the cover of Two Virgins? Interesting question, because I really shouldn't tell you this, but he's commented on John's physicality. He likes it. Whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. How many Elvis record inserts do I think I have? You mean that like there's? Oh, I don't know if you mean the photos. There are photos that come with them. I have a few of those. I don't think I can do a Tom Hanks impersonation. Caitlin is here. Caitlin Larkin. Linda or Olivia? Linda McCartney or Olivia Harrison? It depends on my mood, you know. Sometimes Linda, sometimes Olivia. I know that's a safe answer, but I got to come up with one. If I really only had one, I'd go with Olivia. Was I ever sexually attracted to any of the Beatles' wives? Yep. Okay. A lot of comments being made. Did I see the deluxe edition of Chuck Berry Great 28 coming out next month? No, I didn't. Ooh, everything's coming out. You know, isn't it hard to keep up with all that stuff? Yeesh. Do I think Linda McCartney looked kind of like Tom Petty? Not in the least. No. Other than that, she had blonde hair? No. I have not heard Chuck Berry's 2017 album. No, I hear it's very good, though. What was my favorite Beatles look? Oh boy, they look pretty damn good in Strawberry Fields period. That's what you said you like, and I agree with that. But you know, what's my favorite Christmas album? Ta-da! I'm supposed to say the original Elvis Christmas album, right? I guess I'll pick Ringo Starr. I Want to Be Santa Claus. I like Bing Crosby's. I have a whole bunch of Christmas videos. If you want to look at my old Christmas videos, you'll see them. The Beatles look great in the leather jackets. I don't know why people back in the day were saying the Beatles did not look good in the leather jackets, so they look wrong. And Brian Epstein he wanted them to look all clean and everything, but interesting question from Lee G. Being a collector, would I be able to buy just one or two of the McCartney color vinyl releases, or would I have to have? Would it bother me not having the whole set? It would bother me not having the whole set. I'm like that a lot. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a completist with every single thing, but definitely when it comes to that, yeah. Do the Oz, do the Oz, baby. Anyway, so we had a questions here. We're coming up because, like I say, these particular things I do here when I do these catch up with Mayo official chats, they're only going to be an hour, no more than an hour or an hour 10 minutes. Yeah, I like that song, Do the Oz. Somebody asked me, Wilbury Review said, do I like God Save Us? What's God Save Us, really? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I like that song, too. What, in my opinion, broke up the Beatles? Peter wants to know. In my opinion, it's just what the Beatles said. All four of them have talked about it many times over the years, and they said it was a combination of things. Once Brian Epstein died, they collapsed somewhat, and they kind of lost their footing a little bit, and they started to not get along so well, and they had disagreements and problems about how they're going to work on the records, and George needed more space on the records, and they got into the business problems, and yes, Yoko Ono was a big part of it. Yoko Ono, John falling in love with Yoko, which I don't blame him for, it's his choice, but some of his interest majorly went off the Beatles and onto Yoko, but they were breaking up anyway, and then there was all the business stuff. So the Beatles always said that it was not Yoko's fault. There was a lot of parts of the puzzle. So my opinion is the same as theirs. Yes, I do like the song Wilbury Twist from the Traveling Wilburys. I love that song. I think it's really good. Funny, good. It's a joke. It's a novelty kind of song, and I love it. Uh, and I like that Matthew Smith says something I agree with. He says the Beatles breakup was common sense. They knew it was time to split. You know, people want the Beatles to go on for them. You know, a lot of people out there very selfish, and they want the Beatles to stay together and become stale like the Stones and the way they are now, and the way they've been for a long time. I'm glad they broke up when they were on top, folks. And we got some great solo music. Best film of all time. I think the greatest. Well, I haven't seen every movie ever made, but the greatest movie ever that I've seen is the 1959 remake. William Wyler's Ben-Hur. I think is the greatest movie ever made. I just think it's frame for frame. It's perfect. The music, the story, the photography, the direction, the acting. What do I think of the rumors that Paul wanted Pete out of the band because he was jealous that girls like Pete best? I think it was a lot of bull. Even like you said here, even John Lennon said it was bull. I could see Paul being jealous of it, but it's ridiculous because Paul had his fans too. That's, you know, Paul is still a good-looking guy. He was cute. All the girls liked Paul, so Paul had his admirers too. So I never bought that thing that Pete Best was the guy that all the girls wanted. Baloney, you know. I mean. I got to do the Oz in my head now. Do the Oz, baby. Anyway, would we know of the Beatles at all if there was no Brian Epstein? No, we would not. And I'm still a person. I'm still looking to make that video where I believe that God created the Beatles. I really believe that. Yeah, I'm a believer. What can I tell you? As Neil Diamond wrote and the Monkees sang, too. But all these things were orchestrated by something. It only happened once in a lifetime, and it was all perfect, perfectly orchestrated. And I think the world needed the Beatles, and I believe someone or something saw fit to make it happen. It's pure magic. I gotta say this, even though it's a comment. Squeeze Kitchen says, no offense to Pete Best, but he has the personality of a bowl of oatmeal. I gotta say, you know, his personality didn't fit in the Beatles. I gotta say that. But Pete, like I said, I don't know Pete personally. I've seen a lot of interviews with him. Seems like a really terrific guy. I'd like to meet him and say hello. I had my opportunities, but I wish I could have another one. Let's see what we got. Any more questions here? Can you believe it's been 50 years since Epstein died? Yeah, well, yeah. A lot of comments here at this point, folks. Not much I can really say on my own. Am I ready for Black Friday? No, I am not. And I'll tell you something else while we're on this subject. Folks, this is a good time to say this. I think I heard on the Sirius channel. I think it was a Sirius channel. It might have been on regular radio. I heard what I think is the new version of Wonderful Christmas Time. Did anybody else hear it? Was it Jimmy Fallon singing it, or one of those guys singing it? I know it's the Roots, whatever the hell, but all I know is it sucked. I heard it, and Paul came in and sang his part. He really sounds bad on it. So Matthew Smith said, yeah, it's shit. So, you know, I got to tell you something. That's the one that's coming out on Black Friday. I don't care if I don't get it. I really don't care. I'm a completist. I would buy anything, pretty much. But I do not. McCartney and Jimmy Fallon singing Wonderful Christmas Time. McCartney sounding like he's like 117 years old. I really don't think so. It sounds terrible. It's the worst vocal performance I've ever heard from Paul. I may not buy it, even as a completist. Favorite Billy Joel song? I have a lot of Billy Joel songs I like, but I always go with Only the Good Die Young. Okay. Thomas Vinyl Shack says, I was ranting. Who was ranting? I was ranting about Patti Smith this morning. No, I wasn't. Uh, well, I don't agree with Matthew Smith. He says how, a lot of people agree with Matthew Smith that the original version, Paul's 1979 version, now the holiday standard, Wonderful Christmas Time, sounds terrible. But I don't agree at all. It's not the best thing he ever did, but I think when you try to realize that it was done as part of what became the McCartney 2 experimental recordings, I think it's pretty good for that. But whatever. Some people like it, some people don't. And I don't know if people are gonna. I mean, I really despised it. I didn't hear the whole version of the new Christmas song, the new version of Wonderful Christmas Time. But from what I heard, it was pretty bad. So anyway, as far as I know, there's nothing else on Black Friday that I want. That's the only thing. Well, we're up to 61 minutes now. I said I don't want it to go too long. I kind of just, these particular chats, I want people to be able to, when they're feeling like they got nothing to do one day and they want to just watch a video, like it's an hour, like a movie or something, they could watch this. Yes, Tom Vinyl Shack says, I was ranting about the Fab Forum this morning. Yes, but I don't know. I didn't say anything about Patti Smith. I don't know what you mean by that. She had nothing to. She wasn't on the show. The one I listened to, or the part I listened to. London Town or Back to the Egg. I'll go with Back to the Egg over those two. Yes. Okay. Well, I'll stay here a few minutes longer, possibly. The last two videos, this is number 3 of these that I've done. And the other 2 were about 65 minutes. We're at 62 right now. So let's just stay on here a minute or two longer. And last minute questions. I'm sorry if I've missed people's questions. Have I seen the new Rocky? No, I have not. A lot of people are asking the question now. Do I like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae, the B-side of Wonderful Christmas Time? It's okay. Not great. Let's see. Favorite TV show? I got too many of them. I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, All in the Family, The Odd Couple, The King of Queens. Let's see. Well, I guess we're done. Okay, everybody. Well, I want to thank everybody for stopping by here. This was a lot of fun. This was a good one, too. I'm going to be saving this one. So those people who want can watch it again. People who missed some of it can see it. What they missed. And somebody could just not give a damn and let it hang out there. Okay, everybody. Thanks. I don't have a schedule for this. I don't really know when exactly I'm going to do these again. I just thought I'll do one today. I'm going to try maybe to get a more permanent schedule for these, but that kind of like kills some of the fun. So I don't know. Anyway, thanks. It's been a pleasure, everybody, and thanks for all your support. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for leaving comments. You're the best. Thank you.